Okay, so here we go. I'm going to attempt to do some, well, RimWorld gameplay. I've played the game before, but not for an incredibly long period of time. I also haven't played it in a little while, so I think it was an updated version from what I played last, so I'm going to try this out with a new game. New stuff. By the way, this is going to be completely vanilla. I'm not using any Steam Workshop modifications or anything. Let's take a look. Actually, I think that, yeah, classic experience. Preview awoke in your cryptosleep sarcophagi. To the sound of sirens ripping metal, you barely get to escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land on this unknown RimWorld. This is the one I've played before. Let's see, the rich explorer. People called you crazy for leaving your lunar world home, but you always yearned to explore the stars outside the neurocirculator. Now you're at the end of your long journey in crypto sleep, landing on an unknown RimWorld to see what it's like. Start with one person and a lot of stuff. Sounds difficult as hell. Lost tribe. Your tribe was destroyed by the great blood machine sent by the gods. 5 of you managed to escape. Now it's time to build a new home. You know what? I'm gonna try out the Rich Explorer. This is new to me. I haven't done it yet, and probably gonna fail horribly, but that's all part of the fun of this game, really. AI storyteller. This pretty much it pretty much controls how difficult the game is and what kinds of crazy stuff happens. Cassandra Classic is sort of a slow ramp up. Phoebe Chillax is sort of the world building one, I guess, if you just want to play around. However, I found this is actually more difficult because you don't get new survivors very often, at least in the previous times that I've played. There's also Randy Random, which is incredibly difficult. Throws just tons of random events at you. I'm going to go with Cassandra Classic on rough mode. The different levels here from base builders, some challenge, rough, intense, extreme, basically kind of fine-tune how difficult the particular AI storyteller is going to be. So rough, sort of middle of the road, and it's kind of the minimum that you should use. Otherwise, you're once again not really going to get just about any new survivors or events. It's pretty damn boring. Rough's sort of the easiest I would go, really. So we're gonna try this. That a bunch of times too. Seed failure. That sounds vaguely appropriate. Gonna pick a big ass map. This big powerful computer can handle generating this big ass world. Whew, and lots of choices. And it's going to pick a rather large world. Warning, performance may degrade. Not too worried about that, really. I'm not going to pick the big... I'll go 325 by 325. Should hopefully give me lots of stuff, space. Where do we want to start? So, kind of, if you've ever played or seen gameplay of Dwarf Fortress, this is basically the entire world that you have a choice of where you're going to play on. Don't want anything too difficult, because I haven't played in a while and I honestly suck. How do I... Oh, there we go. WASD moves around, as I found out. control mouse wheel scroll in and out. Pick some place with a few mountains, but not flat. Just pick individual cells for where you want to go. In this case, I want to pick somewhere that has a decent growing period and also has mountains. The reason why you kind of want mountains and stuff is because on a flat world, you don't have anywhere to mine, which means that you can't get a lot of the resources you need to start out from the world, which is kind of important. You won't be able to get steel and such. So forest. Okay, so this looks kind of good. Terrain, small hills. This location isn't too important. Elevation doesn't really matter. Average temperature is the average temperature. As you can see, it doesn't get too cold, it doesn't get too hot. Rainfall, I don't really know what's average and what isn't. Stone types don't matter that much. Growing period is 6 of spring to the 6 of fall, so that gives about 2 months in-game of growing time. So we'll try this out. I'm going to select this site and try information. Okay, that doesn't give a whole lot of information. Anyway, select a site. Now, in here, I get to make my dude. You can't individually control stats, so if you don't like the way the guy looks, you have to randomize and hope you find somebody good that looks interesting. Let's see, capable of intellectual, artistic cooking. Not a great first guy. Let's see, social animals, medicine. Yeah, this is not really a good choice for first guy. Let's try this again. Construction, growing, mining, artistic. So he's she is pretty capable for most things. The little fire emblem basically means that they have a passion for it, which, as you can see, increases their learning ability for certain stats. You can grow all of these stats as long as they're not incapable of it. As you can see, they also have certain traits. Careful shooter, takes more time to shoot, more accurate. Teetotaler, doesn't drink alcohol, doesn't do drugs. Gay, kind of obvious. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that name. So let's try it out. Generate up a map.